Welcome back to Coronation Daily episode. Have you ever discovered something so shocking, so disturbing, that it completely changes everything you thought you knew? Because tonight on Coronation Street, one missing phone may have just blown apart the entire Theo Silverton murder investigation. A young woman is preparing to destroy her own future. A father is watching his life collapse around him. A guilty secret is eating one Weatherfield resident alive. And somewhere among all the lies, the truth about Theo's death may finally be starting to emerge. But what if the biggest clue was hiding in plain sight all along? And what if the police have been chasing the wrong people from the very beginning? Let's get into it. Because what happened tonight was absolutely explosive. Before we talk about the phone bombshell, we need to talk about the damage Theo Silverton left behind. Even in death, Theo is still destroying lives. His shadow hangs over every corner of Weatherfield. Every conversation, every secret, every guilty conscience. And nowhere is that damage more visible than in the life of Todd Grimshaw. Todd thought he was finally starting to understand what happened on the night Theo died. He thought the police had taken his phone. He thought it was safely locked away as evidence. He thought someone was in control. But then everything changes. Because when Todd finally asks for his phone back, DS Lisa Connorswain drops a bombshell. The police never had it. Never. Just imagine that moment. That sinking feeling. That sudden realization that everything you've believed for weeks might be completely wrong. If the police didn't have Todd's phone, then where has it been? And more importantly, who had access to it? Suddenly the investigation doesn't feel secure anymore. It feels broken. Dangerously broken. And that realization terrifies Todd. Because if the police missed something this important, what else have they missed? And that's when things take a darker turn. A flashback begins to piece together the missing puzzle. Slowly, painfully, the truth starts emerging. Todd's phone wasn't sitting in an evidence locker. It was sitting in a pawn shop. A pawn shop. Just let that sink in. The device that may contain crucial evidence. Messages, calls, timelines, potential proof. Was sitting on a shelf waiting to be sold. One careless sale away from disappearing forever. It's almost unbelievable. But what happens next is even more shocking. Forensics examine the phone. They find fingerprints. And suddenly one name explodes into the investigation. Brody. The moment that name surfaces, everything changes again. Because now the police think they've found their next suspect. But have they? Or are they making another devastating mistake? That's the question. Because Brody's fingerprints prove contact. They don't prove murder. Maybe he found the phone. Maybe he picked it up. Maybe he saw an opportunity to make a few pounds. But does that make him a killer? Not necessarily. And that's exactly why this storyline feels so dangerous. Because once again, the police appear desperate for answers. And desperate people often arrest the wrong person. Could Brody simply be the latest scapegoat? Or is he hiding something far darker? Let me know what you think. Because right now, nothing feels certain. Meanwhile, Summer Spellman is reaching breaking point. And honestly, this might be the most heartbreaking part of the entire story. Because Summer isn't fighting anymore. She's exhausted, emotionally drained, mentally crushed. And she has started believing the worst possible thing. That maybe giving up is easier. Imagine being innocent, yet feeling so trapped, so hopeless, that prison starts to feel inevitable. That's where Summer is now. She's seriously considering pleading guilty to manslaughter. Not because she did it, but because she can't see a way out. It's devastating. The system has convinced her she has already lost. And that's exactly how innocent people end up carrying guilt that was never theirs. The tragedy isn't just that Summer might go to prison. The tragedy is that she has stopped believing she deserves freedom. And that is absolutely heartbreaking. But while Summer prepares to sacrifice her future, one man holds the key to saving her. Tyrone Dobbs. And Tyrone's silence is becoming impossible to defend. Because Tyrone knows something. Something huge. Something that could completely change this case. He saw Theo alive after Summer left. Think about that. If Tyrone speaks up, everything changes. The timeline changes. The investigation changes. Summer's future changes. But he's staying silent. Why? Fear. Pure fear. Fear of Carl Webster. Fear of exposing secrets from the garage accident. Fear of consequences. Fear of what happens if the police start asking questions. And Carl knows exactly how terrified Tyrone is. The guilt is consuming him. You can see it in every conversation. Every nervous glance. Every hesitation. This isn't the Tyrone we've known for years. The moral center of the street is cracking under pressure. And then comes the truly suspicious twist. Secret phone calls. Private conversations. Cryptic comments. Tyrone tells someone, "This is on us. Not me." So who is the other person? Who is he protecting? And why does it sound like multiple people know more than they're admitting? Could there be another witness? Another accomplice? Or someone far more dangerous hiding behind the scenes? This mystery just got a whole lot bigger. Meanwhile, Daniel Osborne's life is falling apart. And honestly, watching it happen is painful. It starts with something beautiful. A simple gift from Birdie. A world's best teacher mug. A reminder of who Daniel wants to be. A father. A teacher. A role model. But within moments, it's shattered. Literally. Just like Daniel's life. The online abuse continues. The Truth Teller 2 campaign spreads further. Humiliation follows him everywhere. And then comes the revelation nobody saw coming. Jody, the woman Daniel trusted, the woman he believed supported him, was the troll all along. Talk about betrayal. This wasn't just deception. This was psychological warfare. Daniel opened his door to her, trusted her, confided in her. And all the time she was tearing him apart from the shadows. No wonder he spirals. No wonder he reaches for alcohol. No wonder his judgment disappears. Because this isn't just public humiliation. It's personal destruction. And unfortunately, the person who suffers most is little Birdie. One of the most devastating scenes of the week unfolds. Daniel passes out drunk. Birdie is left alone. A child trying to take care of himself. A child trying to make tea. A child wandering Weatherfield by himself. And when social services arrive, you know exactly what's coming. Daniel's worst nightmare. The possibility of losing the one thing that matters most. His son. And that fear could push him somewhere very dangerous. But Daniel isn't the only person dealing with betrayal. Because Todd receives another shock. One that could change how everyone sees him. Theo made Todd the sole beneficiary of his life insurance policy. Just think about that. After everything Theo put him through. After all the manipulation. All the trauma. All the emotional abuse. Todd is now inheriting money because Theo is dead. Suddenly, the accusations begin. People start asking questions. Whispering theories. Looking at Todd differently. What if he had a motive? What if he wanted the money? What if this changes everything? Of course we know Todd isn't that person. But perception matters. And in Weatherfield, rumors spread faster than facts. That insurance payout may become a curse rather than a blessing. Because every pound could make Todd look more guilty. Whether he is or not. And while one mystery deepens, another danger is quietly approaching. Leanne appears completely captivated by Idris. He's charming, smooth, confident, maybe a little too confident. Alia can see the warning signs. She can sense trouble. But Leanne seems determined to ignore every red flag. Loneliness can make people vulnerable. And vulnerable people often trust the wrong person. Could Idris genuinely care about Leanne? Or is he simply playing a much bigger game? Something about this situation feels unsettling. And I don't think Alia is wrong to be worried. Not at all. Meanwhile, David Platt finds himself trapped in a psychological nightmare of his own. Because Jody isn't finished causing chaos. She's manipulating. Twisting reality. Planting doubts. Making David question everything. Including himself. And perhaps most dangerously, his marriage. The more David listens, the more confused he becomes. And confusion is exactly what manipulators rely on. The longer this continues, the greater the risk that Shona and David's relationship could suffer irreversible damage. And if that happens, Jody wins. As tonight's episode comes to a close, Weatherfield feels like a ticking time bomb. Every family is hiding secrets. Every relationship is under pressure. Every lie is getting harder to maintain. The police are closing in. Summer is losing hope. Daniel is losing control. Todd is drowning in suspicion. And Tyrone is carrying a secret that could blow everything apart. But perhaps the biggest question remains unanswered. Was Theo Silverton's murder investigation genuinely mishandled? Or is someone deliberately steering the police in the wrong direction? Because the deeper we go, the more it feels like somebody is still pulling the strings. And if that's true, the real shock may still be ahead of us. If you've enjoyed today's breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to Coronation Daily episode, turn on notifications and hit that like button. Because trust me, this mystery is far from over. And the truth about Theo's death may be more shocking than any of us imagined. Until next time, keep your eyes on the cobbles. Because Weatherfield's darkest secrets are only just beginning to surface.